Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you.
Okay, welcome to episode 6 of 15 Minutes of Genius. We are just super excited for our guest today. Known her for, I think, just over a year. She is amazing, insightful, super sharp. She's a genius in her own respect. So I'm going to roll into that. But before I do, wanted to do a quick plug for my guy, Mark Nicholas, Manhattan Beach Studios. This is where we're filming it. This beautiful backdrop, having the head hanging back there. There's the website right below. So if you ever need audio work, video work, or you want to use a studio and try to copy Joe Rogan and have your own podcast, it's fair game, and he'll make it happen for you. So Mark Nicholas, Mark N at manhattanbeachstudios.net. All right, so our guest this week is Aditi Dash. She's a partner at CircleUP, an investment group based in San Francisco. So I'm going to go into a little intro here. Aditi is a partner at CircleUP Growth Partners, a data-driven venture fund focused exclusively on early-stage consumer products. She serves on the board of Pop and Bottle, a plant-based beverage company. I've drank their products, and is an observer on the board of Nut Pods, also another great product, plant-based creamer, and Peach, a direct-selling athleisure business. Previously, Aditi was the director of new products incubator at La Colombe Coffee, where she led the R&D and pilot production teams in an effort to rapidly launch new products across the company's 4 channels: CPG, retail cafes, food service, hospitality, and e-commerce. Enormous company. Before La Colombe, Aditi worked at Blue Apron in operations and was an investor at Stripes Group, focused on technology and consumer products. Aditi started her career at Morgan Stanley, first in investment banking, and then was one of the first hires at Morgan Stanley Expansion Capital, a consumer and tech growth equity fund. Aditi has an MBA from Harvard Business School. They'll never let me on those premises. And a dual degree in biomedical engineering and economics from Brown University. Wow. Aditi, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the intro.
Awesome. And I love you're describing this right before we went live, that behind you brought the WeWork to your home. It's like basically a foam background that absorbs the sound. So you could say whatever you want, whatever you want, do whatever you want, and no one else will hear you. That's really incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible. There was a startup that I think was going out of business or moving offices that was selling all of the phone booths in their office. And so my husband and I decided to buy a phone booth and put it in our house for phone calls. And it's been the best money that I've ever spent in my life.
Nice. It's even better when you get it from another company going out of business because you get a great price on it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right on. Well, let's get right into it here. We only have 15 minutes, and I definitely want to dig into your story and how you got into the CPG space. So I know some of it was in our intro here, but tell us more, like what got you fascinated with CPG? What got you fascinated with La Colombe Coffee? Where did that passion start?
Look, if I have to go back, I would say that the passion started from my origins. So I was born in a pretty rural part of India, and I firsthand got to see the evolution of that part of the country into what it is today. And the way that people evolve, the way that their buying patterns evolve, the way they consume technology, media, consumer products, it's been so interesting to me to watch that journey just as a person that grew up in it and then moved somewhere else. So I have this fascination with how people make decisions. I have this fascination with what people buy, how they sell it, and how that connects to a country kind of growing, and myself. As I've gone from one part of the world to another, I've got to see these different products that have had an impact on my life and my family's life. And I can't stop thinking about it. So I can't turn off that interest in new products and interesting things that I've had for a long time now.
That's incredible. And I think, yeah, having like that worldly experience, and really it's just an obsession, right, on finding out how consumers tick and what people, honestly, at the end of the day, what people want to buy off the shelf. So that's really amazing. And so at what age did you move from India to the US?
Yeah, so the age that I moved at was 8, and my earliest memories of brands are British Airways, McDonald's, and Barney.
Barney, like the dinosaur?
Yeah, Barney like
Okay.
the dinosaur.
Right on. That was it was my early childhood memory and also my nightmare at the same time. So
Yeah, exactly.
that purple dinosaur scared the crap out of me.
I know.
Yeah, it's so anyway, wow. So that's just so when you came here at the age of 8, how did you feel just coming to the US? What did you learn immediately? Obviously a culture clash. But just tell me that kind of experience of moving here and like how you felt coming to a new country.
Yeah, I think the best way to share it is actually to share an anecdote that really stands out in my head, which is about school lunches. And so I got to this new school in this new country and showed up to lunch with some Indian food. And now that would be pretty cool to do, but back then it wasn't as cool. And I remember just being laughed at for having different food. And then I remember making friends with those crackers. If you remember those crackers that have the peanut butter layers in between them,
Like
the cheese
Ritz?
crackers with the peanut butter,
Hmm.
those like cracker sandwiches.
Hmm.
So it just was, it was a culture clash, but I didn't take it in a negative way. I just had to adapt quickly. Obviously, there were tears at times, but it was trying to figure out how can I fit in here and trying to find my place in the world, which I know all of us are doing in some way.
Definitely, definitely. And you are kicking ass here. I can say that much. I mean, you are just kind of rolling into our next topic, CircleUp, right? CircleUp, a
Yeah.
super well-respected investment firm in the CPG space. It started as one platform, right, where it was equity crowdfunding, went to another one, and you guys were just excelling and growing every single day. Tell me more about CircleUp. Love the name, by the way. I think the name says exactly what you guys are doing. You're circling up to make a better world, right, with better products. You can use that. You have my permission. And tell me more about CircleUp. Tell me more about how you got involved with them and what you guys are up to now.
Yeah. So CircleUp is an investment firm. We have two arms today to our platform. One is equity investing, and I'm one of the 5 partners that's responsible for investing $125 million fund. We also have a credit arm that does working capital loans for high growth businesses, and we only work with CPG businesses. So all consumer products, all companies that are selling actual physical goods. How I got involved was actually through a friend at La Colombe. So a friend at La Colombe introduced me to the team at CircleUp. He knew that I was thinking about getting back into the world of investing post being on the operations side. And I had a couple of really good conversations and had the opportunity to move out to California, which I was super excited about. And I liked the team a lot, and I love the data angle. There's so many funds out there. I feel like I hear about a new fund every single day, that I wanted to join a fund that was a little bit different. And I think every fund, if they aren't already doing this, needs to incorporate data in their decision making. And it's good for me, and I'm happy to be associated with a firm that is building around that.
I love it. I love it. And that's really what I've noticed because, being a brand owner, I've reached out to many, many different investment firms, had a lot of conversations, and always have enjoyed the conversations with you. You've always been super transparent, genuine. But what's also rare about you, Aditi, and about CircleUp is that you take the time to talk with brands. Like you're open-minded and you want to see what is out there and study what is out there. And always accumulating that knowledge is going to ultimately make you even better investors, right, in brands, right, to have your ear to the ground on what the new trends are. I want to roll into
That's the
this.
hope. And you're too nice. Thank you.
Yeah, hey, it's the truth. So I want to roll right into entrepreneurs that are watching. A lot of entrepreneurs out there need money, right? They're raising money, they're raising a seed round, they're raising a Series A round, they're raising a Series B round. It's like the never-ending cycle of raising money to pump and build your CPG brand in the marketplace.
Yeah.
What do you look for in entrepreneurs? Like when you are having a phone call with an entrepreneur in food and beverage, what's the top three things, let's say, that you look for in an entrepreneur and a brand and a product to consider investing in them?
Yeah, look, I think entrepreneurs are incredible for doing what they're doing and building a business, but not every business and not every entrepreneur needs to be a venture-backed business. So if a company and founder has determined that VC backing is what they need, I think there's a pretty narrow set of things that most venture investors look for, at least the Series A investors that are at the same stage as someone like CircleUp. We look for one, product differentiation. We want to see some sort of uniqueness in the product. We look for two, a big market and big opportunity, because investors are in the business of investing to make money, and making money usually means selling the business. And we have to be thinking about that. We don't think companies should be doing that early, but they have to be doing it. So two is big market, which relates to exit potential. And three is a founder and team that is better than anyone else on the planet that we can identify to really take that business to the big vision and sell this different product to as many people as possible. That's what makes sense from an investment perspective, at least at the Series A early stage. But not every business needs to have that trajectory. I think it's up to the founder to decide how they want to build their business. And VC isn't the right thing for everyone. But if it is, I think growth is super, super important. And that's kind of a fourth thing to keep in mind: revenue growth, profitability, and metrics that make an investor get excited.
Exactly. And, Aditi, one thing that I've noticed from running Genius Juice for 6 years, it's the big M: margins, margins, margins. And I think the model is changing, where brands are now focusing more than ever on becoming more sustainable, having better margins. We're talking 40 plus, 40 plus minus trade spend. Nice to be 30 to 35% or higher margin with trade spend. So these are all things that like brands are now shooting for to be seen as more attractive to investment firms like CircleUp. And I think, what you said hit the nail on the head. You got to be sustainable. You got to have better margins. That's becoming almost a requirement now, right? For, it's not everything, but it is very crucial, right, for brands to have that.
Yeah, I mean, you got to make money.
Exactly. Very, this short, got to make money. Though you got to make money. 4 words right there. That is boiling down. That's what you got to do to anyone who's watching. So, all right. Well, last question I have, and this is more just kind of going into the final phase of our show here, is, and you've already really touched on this already, Aditi, with all the words of wisdom, but to any brand owner that's watching, right, like they want to get in touch with you, right, or they're approaching investors, what would you recommend? Like, what is a strategy to do that? At what stage should a brand be going out and asking for money? And when is the right time to ask for money? Because I've seen brands at all different stages raising money. They could be very young, under $1 million. They could be at 2 million, 3 million asking for money. So like, what do you recommend? What is a good time to go out and raise capital? And what should you have in your arsenal to be able to raise that round? Like, what is your advice on entrepreneurs going out there and raising capital?
I would say that the exact timing depends on your business. There are some benchmarks that investors look for, like 1 million in sales or 1 million in run rate. And then there's another level at 10 million, and then 30 million, 50 million. There's always going to be different marks that different investors look for. But I would say if a company and brand is going out to fundraise, I think it's really important to treat fundraising as sales. You're trying to sell your business effectively, the concept, the idea, to an investor. So treat it like you would a traditional sales pipeline. Make a giant list of investors, update them, stay in touch with them, with the goal of closing 1, 2, or 3 investors over the next little bit. So just think about it from a sales perspective. What are the things you would do? How would you build a pipeline? How would you track success? It's the same thing that companies need to be doing when raising money.
Those are words of genius right there. That I don't even have to ask my final question about words of genius because that is freaking genius right there. So there's brands out there, I'm sure they're going to watch this and go, she seems awesome. I want to get in touch with her just to talk, to find out more about the business, or potentially they want to raise money, right? And they're going to be approaching CircleUP. What is your email, Aditi, or the best way to reach you for someone to set up a meeting with you or to have a chat?
Yeah, please, please, please do. Email me at adash@circleup.com or tweet me, Instagram, DM me, find me on TikTok, LinkedIn,
TikTok.
all of those
I
work
love it.
great.
TikTok. I love it. I love it. I'm not even on TikTok. If I'm on TikTok, I would have to know how to dance because everyone's just dancing on there. That seems to be the point of TikTok right now. I don't know, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't need to learn how to dance. Just your logo needs to learn how to dance.
There you go. There you go. My logo can dance way better than me. I know that much. So, all right. Well, Didi, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you taking the time. We're after hours at 6:30, 6:48 p.m. right now. So thank you again for being on our show and appreciate your time.
And thank you. I will see you soon. Bye.
Awesome. Take care. All right. So that is episode 6 in the books, 15 Minutes of Genius. That was Aditi Dash, one of my favorite people like in this industry, great investor, knows her stuff, works with CircleUP, amazing company in San Francisco. So yeah, thank you again. This is an amazing episode. And again, one more plug to my guy, Mark Nicholas, Mark N at ManhattanBeachStudios.net for all your production editing desires. So again, episode 6 in the books, 15 Minutes of Genius. Thank you so much and have a wonderful rest of the day. And guess what? Stay genius, my friends.
Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you.